have for this international conference is Dr. Muhammad Ramzan. Dr. Muhammad Ramzan has currently assumed the charge of Vice Chancellorship at Emerson University, Multan. Previously, he has been Director General Academics and Accreditation, Punjab HEC, and Director at IT University, LUMS, UCP, and GIK Institute. He is considered founder of modern librarianship in Pakistan. He has been awarded Distinguished Academic Leader Award by Governor Punjab and International Lifetime Achievement Award in India. The time is short and his introduction is long, so over to the worthy Vice Chancellor, Emerson University, Multan, Professor Dr. Ramzan. Sir, please. Sir, Dr. Muhammad Ramzan, please unmute yourself.
Gee, I have unmuted. Can everyone listen me?
Yes, sir, you are quite audible.
Okay, thank you very much. May Allah subhanahu keep you all blessed. We are passing through a very difficult time in our country, but at the same time, the intellectual activities should continue. And let me thank and congratulate Dr. Shahid Suraya, the chair of this very important conference. He is my colleague for more than 3 decades, and I know he's a very active person, and he is always at the forefront of welfare of librarians. And alongside him is Dr. Saira Hanif Soroya. She is the co-chair. She is also, mashallah, very active and very energetic. And Asif Mani Saab is always one of the best organizers, and I congratulate this team. And I have heard Dr. Nizam Saab, Dr. Shahid Murid, and Dr. N. The speeches were very excellent and to the point and very relevant to this conference. I take pride in what I have achieved in my life, and I started my career from Cabinet Division in 1992. Then I joined USIS and GIK Institute and LUMS, and then I have contributed with the blessings of Allah Almighty, and perhaps I was counting one day that there are 33 new libraries that I was able to establish in my country. And I also extended my cooperation to Sri Lanka, India, and other SAARC countries through the UNESCO when we developed the information literacy model in 2004 and 2005. And it was an honor that I was chair of the international committee who developed this model. And then I do remember when I proposed the HEC National Digital Library back in 2003, and that has helped my country to publish and conduct a lot of research, and the culture of research has been exponential. Rather, many people fear that there are too many papers being published in Pakistan. But what I foresee is that the focus should be on the field. And when you work on the field, the impact of those contributions goes beyond centuries. Now, on this time, when we are talking about the transformation of knowledge repositories into knowledge economy, so I remember there are two very small countries, and one of them, even Singapore, is population of Singapore and the area of Singapore is equal to my home district, Sialkot. Similarly, is Israel. Israel is also a very small country. But both these countries are ruling the world. How they are ruling the world? They are getting the data, transforming their data into information, and then getting the experiences of other people and transforming them into knowledge. And now they are getting everything from each country and they're again selling to those countries because they have started processing the data, and they are, after the processing the data, they get lots of foreign exchange for their countries. Over the years, what I have seen is right now we are living in the most interconnected world of knowledge, and there are many countries where the whole country is on the wireless fidelity. They have free Wi-Fi, and our consumers, our kids in the universities, in schools and colleges and at home, even the small kids, they now have all these gadgets where they can afford, and majority of them can afford right now, and they are interconnected. And now there is no difference between getting access to those resources through the teacher or directly to these resources. And this is what I have been preaching and advocating, that we need a paradigm shift in understanding that our consumers' behavior of knowledge has changed, and we now have access to what is being published and what is even not being published by 24/7 and globally. People can see what the traffic congestion is in model town, how the rains are getting devastating effects on in Karachi, and what is happening in Tosa Sharif, or what is happening in Singapore and all over the world. So we now have not only the audio, video, rather we can sense the sensory effects of the world. Now, we are all aware that people are using augmented reality, people are using virtual reality, there is a hologram technology, and these are being used in many disciplines and also in libraries as well. So these technologies has basically helped us to go beyond the text and audio. So what is needed is to develop our core competencies and our competencies to leverage the benefit of these technologies so that we are relevant and we got the same importance that have been our strength since the inception of the humankind. Now, what has to be done is, importantly, we need to understand that we need to go for the contribution beyond our universities and colleges. The most of the research I see is amongst the students, amongst the teachers, their use behavior and their perceptions and everything. So good, not bad. But let's focus on the applied side of this knowledge that you have. Now we have been between the knowledge and the consumers since the inception of libraries. But now, since people have access to knowledge, if I want to get access to a latest journal, my student can access, my children can access, people all over the world, they can also access. Why they should go to the library? And there is a question, although this is a misconception, but there is a question being asked everyone, since everything is digital, why we go to the libraries? This is a continuous challenge. And this is not the modern world challenge. This is the challenge of our ancestors have been feeling these challenges and they have been facing. But they then, what they did was, they actually divide mechanism. For example, for the text, they started publishing abstracts. They started indexing those articles and providing to their customers. Now, when our customer have direct access, what value I can add to my resources? What is special that I can give to my customers, whether they are farmers, whether they are doctors, whether they are engineers, whether they are laborers, whether they are transporters. whether the big sector of real estate is there. Similarly, is the universities and students where we serve. The, amongst the major challenges these days is the fake news. And the person who qualifies to tell that whether this information is credible or not, the most important is the librarian. But I would say, I am also using the words of champions of libraries. No, I would use the champions of establishing the credibility of the information. And this is where you need to devise the mechanisms that what are the ways and means of assessing and evaluating whether this information that is coming from this source is credible or not. And we can even devise mechanism to rate the information: highly reliable, reliable, not reliable, less reliable, and that. So that the people started relying on us. People started relying on librarians. Otherwise, they will be influenced by the social media, they will be influenced by the fake news that is coming through different gadgets, different social media tools. Now, these challenges are there. Now, how to do this? How to cope these challenges? Now, to cope these challenges, number one, we need to develop our own skills, our professional skills, plus collaboration. I use 2-3 words for coping with the challenges that is coming with us. Number one is the cooperation. Cooperation among the users, cooperation among the people who can develop systems, say computer programmers, system developers. So we need to cooperate with them. We need to develop these tools and techniques where we can provide value to our users so that they are forced to come to you, whether physically or virtually. Similarly, we need to understand the dynamics of people's behaviors, how they consume information, how they want to access information. For example, doctors, for example, agriculturists, for example, the people who are giants, who are in the real estate, for the people who are in hotel industry, what kind of information they need and why they should come to you. So these are the challenges which we can cope with. We can benefit the expertise of others. I remember a word used by Sayyid Babar Ali. He is a great person. He said, learning from others. So you are not the only person, and I am not the only person who is born in this world. People have different capabilities. Their specialties are different. So this is the success factor of a person, especially the librarian, if he or she can get the expertise from others and then develop the systems. Now, I can give you one example. When we developed this National Digital Library of Pakistan, what we got was got access to different databases from Elsevier, Pakistan Law Site, and others. But what I proposed was that this is not enough. We are getting access to internationally published literature. But where is our own literature? So I proposed that we should actually work and develop our own databases. Now, who are the persons who qualify? It is the librarians and the computer people who can join hands and develop these ideas. And obviously, these ideas need to be implemented through the universities who have resources, who have people from different segments of the society with different skill set. Now, if we acted on at that time, the access to these digital resources would have been free for us after 5 years. But I think even right now you can do. 2 of you, 4 of you from different backgrounds can join. Librarians can join. Engineering librarian can join. Librarians from medical fraternity can join. So they can help get help from the computer scientists and the relevant faculty, and they can publish the articles, then index them, develop the system to automatically index them, and then make their own databases, and ask the faculty to, they are actually getting the funding, research funding from Punjab Higher Education Commission, Higher Education Commission, Pakistan Science Foundation, to propose a research area where they can get funding, and then they can develop these systems for our own country. Similarly, when you are in a university or college, you need to be an important partner of the faculty. You should be helping them, so they are forced to come to you that I want to record this knowledge, this lecture. I want to record this audio. I want to record this video, and tell him, how can I help you? I will help you to have a soundproof room. I will help you to have a room with good lights, good cameras, and good audios. Similarly, you can also take part in recording the lectures of the teachers with the help, and then make them available through through your servers. And these days, many people are talking. I am also talking in this my university. I have asked them that we will be implementing the flipped classroom model, and why I have asked them, because I know that how to do this, and my background from the librarian as well as my management skills help me to tell them that it's very easy. What you need to do is, you need to record your knowledge, and provide knowledge resources, and then give the access to the students with the objectives that I will be talking about this lecture today or tomorrow. So they get the real initial understanding of the subject at their homes, and then they come for the high level of learning in the universities. So in every field, if you see there is the role of librarian. Librarians have expertise. I will not ask you, each one of you can go for the registrar position, for the controller examination position, for the director QEC, for the director academic. Oh, sorry, there is a distraction, I think. Then the field of employment and business is open for you. What you need to do is, you need to think beyond libraries, beyond your universities, and beyond your colleges. And this is where you have precedences. Many of your colleagues have, joined hands. They have joined different universities beyond librarians. World is open. You can become vice chancellor. You can become member of the parliament. You can start your own businesses. So I am always advocate of broadening the horizon of libraries and the librarians. And we have actually, I have seen that the librarian, wherever they have gone, they have proved most active and most useful. I will give you example. I was in Punjab Higher Education Commission, and there was a chairman who was a bit strict. But when I talk to him, there are people from different background, but there are three people who are from the library profession. I said, one of them, there's a Dr. Aslam Munir, there is a Massam. He said, oh, really? You have made a difference. You have never disappointed me. And you are multitasker. So these are the words from one of the persons. Similarly, in other universities where the librarians have even gone beyond libraries, they have proved their worth. So I am talking of the use of technology, the collaboration with different people, and a little courage as well. Coming out of your silos and then telling them that I am a very important person for you. And one of the qualities that you already possess is the communication, the critical thinking and the communication, talking to people, writing to people, you know, going well dressed and presenting. And actually, it is the negotiation between you and the other people. Always give them the benefit. You know, if I do this, you will get this benefit, you will get this benefit, you will get this benefit, and they will then come to you. Okay, you are a very important person. I will hire you, and I will cooperate with you. I will make collaboration with you. One example that I just remember, when I joined LUMS in 1998, I said, everyone is talking of British Library, everyone is talking of Library of Congress. Why not LUMS Library? And I gave this idea to two people. One of them was a computer programmer, and one of them was my colleague who is now doing PhD Hamid Said in Dubai. And the person who was a computer programmer, he said, yes, we can do it. So I said, so then do it. He said, if you help me in getting 2 hours for 2 months, I will develop a system. What he did was, he developed an application in Oracle, and then we started providing access to the people through the internet. Although it was not live, but was possessive, but it was there. But it is 1999. And the key was the cooperation, the collaboration, thinking beyond. I'm sorry, I fear from the Allah that, you know, mere andar koi takabbar na aa jaye. But these are the real life examples. But I believe in your knowledge is brighter than me. Your minds are brighter than us, and you have better knowledge than us. So you can do wonders. You have already done. You have proved. Whosoever has gone even beyond libraries has proved their worth, and everyone is praising. If Dr. Nizam Saab is listening over here, he will also tell you, oh yes, the librarians are excellent. But you know, 3 decades before or 4 decades before, it was not the situation. But now you are respected everywhere, in the professional circle, in the corporate circle, amongst the politicians, and among the academicians, among the chairmen, former chairmen, among the vice chancellor. So this is an opportunity for you to broaden your horizons. The keys that I have, you know, for you is the technology, collaboration, skills, courage, and communication. And I am confident that you all have these. But these are skills, the competencies. Now I would like you to develop your core competencies. Core competencies are those competencies which everyone cannot develop. That is the special, something special in you. You tell them, okay, this is the contribution that only I can do best for you. This, when you develop this core competency, jobs will be behind you, people will be behind. I am so happy that Dr. Shahid Suraya, Professor Dr. Shahid Suraya, one of my best colleagues, and Dr. Saira, Dr. Asif Munir, and Zahir, Kesser, and Dr. Bukar, all those who are associated with this conference, and Pakistan Librarian Welfare Organization, you are doing great job, and you have basically provided an opportunity for everyone to connect it to the international people, the people from different backgrounds. My concern is more towards developing the systems for my own university, for the immersion university. But I am always available. I will never say you no. And because why I will not say no you? Because you are my source of strength. I have, whatever I have gained in my life is because I was librarian, and I am proud of this profession. I wish you all the best. Pray for your success, and I'm confident that wherever you go, you will prove that you are one of the best choice for any national or international opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valued talk on challenges to librarians in the digital era. So now this is the time for question and answer session. I have collected some questions from the participants, and the first question I have is from Ma'am Anne Graf. The question is asked by an MPhil student. She has asked that, are the US-based universities open for Pakistani library and information science female students? If yes, what is the educational equivalence of Pakistani universities with the US universities? For example, I am an MPhil student. Will my education be equal to the 18 years of education in USA? Ma'am, can you please answer this question? Actually, these are two questions. In the first part of her question, she has asked that, are the US-based universities open for the Pakistani students? And in the second portion of her question, she has asked that Pakistani 18 year of education is equivalent to the US 18 years of education or not?
Well, thank you for the question. Will try my best to answer that. Each university will have its own rules regarding how they accept students from overseas. We have many students from overseas, from all different countries. It becomes a question of funding, whether the student is able to have funding to be able to come to our country and to attend our university. And some universities will have a lot more funding than others. You know, my university is pretty small and it doesn't have the funding of a larger university. So it might be more difficult sometimes to provide the support that a student would need from, say, Pakistan to come. But definitely they would be welcomed if that connection could be made. As far as the second question regarding the equivalence of the education, that one I cannot answer with as much confidence because I'm not really familiar with the education system in Pakistan. Basically, what we do in the United States is a graduate degree in library science is required for the credential to be a librarian. So if it is a graduate degree, I would think it would be recognized as equal, but I honestly cannot say for sure about that second question.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. You have shared your email ID as well, and our conference chair and conference co-chair are also in the United States of America. The students may ask further questions through email ID or from the conference chair or from the conference co-chair as well. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Well, the second question is from Dr. Muhammad Ramzan Sahib. The student has told that his name is Adnan and he is MPhil student. And he has asked that, inspired by Dr. Saab's introduction and profile, I am asking about some practical guidelines for making that awesome career in librarianship, as I am an early career librarian and MPhil student at University of Sargodha. So the student wants some practical guidelines regarding building some that type of awesome career, like the career you have had.
Well, I am a very common man and I am a humbled man and I am still a student. Actually, if he said, he thinks that I am not a student, I am a student and I keep learning. This continues and it must continue. And basically, sometimes framing of your question is important. So I think he has not framed his question because sometimes the answer lies in the question as well. The practical tip, there is no practical tip. Actually, you are brighter than me. You have better brain than me. What you need to do is you need to work hard. And the learning takes place when you observe, when you meet people, when you meet peers, and when you
Okay, so the conference co-chair, Dr. Saira Hanif Suraya, has the next question. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vakar. Hi, I'm Saira Saroya, and I'm happy to meet my ACEST family member. I'm a I'm a member of ACEST since 2017. So I've been serving as chair, awards committee chair for SIG III and for SIG Youth right now. So it's really great to see my family members for as a keynote for Pakistani conference. I'm here since last 3 months at US, and I'm here for my postdoctoral studies, and I'm working as a assistant professor at College of Health Sciences at University of Kentucky. So my area of specialization is health informatics. So actually, after having your wonderful presentation, I was just wondering, at Siemens College, I know Naresh and I know Sanda. So what is actually, I'm interested to know that how much library and information science professionals in United States are inclined towards the core of LIS, and how much they are interested to conduct research with interdisciplinary approach, like working with the people who are from information systems, who are from computer sciences. So what is trend here at US among LIS researchers?
That's a very interesting question. My experience has been that there is a lot of crossover into other areas. Some people tend to stay right with the core, like you said, in just LIS and looking at traditional libraries. Here, where I am at Simmons, we've actually just started a concentration for public libraries. So that's very much into the library focus. But I've seen so many different programs around the United States that have offered education that crosses over boundaries. And I think this is becoming very, very common in the United States. And it's also, you know, our field is so meta. It brushes up against so many other different things, and there's so many different applications for any kind of the core field, such as I'm in the core of information organization, but it brushes up, then I brush up against art and so cultural heritage and things like that. And so I think that it's very common in the United States, especially, and again, I can't speak for other countries because I haven't studied in other countries, but I think it is very common for students to want to combine information science, and we see it in faculty as well. We see a lot of information school faculty that some even have a different PhD. They will come from information communication technologies or policy or things like that. I hope I'm answering your question, but I do think it is very common.
Thank you very much, N. And actually, your answer makes sense, and it gives our students and researchers back in Pakistan a clear idea that in US there is a growing culture of interdisciplinary research, and it's not important and mandatory to conduct the research with the core of LIS. You can just look into your heart and brain, and so where you want to go, you are open. I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Anne.
Thank you very much all. Now this is time to move